All right. Hello, my fellow sensitive people. I will try to get to everybody's questions as fast as I can. I had some great questions this year. And if you could share, like, and subscribe, be sure and tell me what your predictions are for 2025. But these are the things that you folks wanted me to take a look at. Let's go ahead. We're going to do the MPAS prayer, and then without further ado, we will blitz, blitz, blitz away. I'm going to take off my magic hat. Thank you, Wendy. I love it. Let's do the MPAS prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, as a community, we say, Amen. And may all souls be healed. Thank you. All right. I also wanted to announce that our book Rolodex is the book chosen for our Book of the Month Club. Richmond Burton will be in our studios on January 6th. If you'd like to check out his book, it's available on most online booksellers. Okay. So the first question that you folks had for me is, did I feel that Sean Diddy Combs was going to be released from prison? So we're going to get to the celebrity stuff first, because we get a lot of celebrity stuff and we don't do it as often as people would like. But the reason that I think that the Sean Diddy Combs case is so intriguing for people who watch this channel is that people want to see justice, and they want to see justice for the victims. I felt when I went into this energy that he wanted to get out of prison. He wanted to get out of prison as fast as possible. And what he wanted to do was get access to his money. So when I remote viewed or put myself in the shoes of Sean Diddy, I wanted to get out and I wanted to speak to my lawyers in some kind of an environment where it was truly private, which I didn't feel like I could get in jail. And I wanted to get access to money that the feds may not know I have. So that tells me, as a remote viewer, that that is precisely what the feds are doing. The feds are very likely considering releasing Sean Diddy Combs because he's going to do what every other criminal does, run to try and get access to his money, including possibly crypto accounts or hidden money that the feds may not be aware of. All right. So, will Sean Diddy be released? Now the judge is talking about possibly releasing him. Three of Wands, looking over the horizon for Sean Diddy. So, very possibly, there are people that are working at this time to get him released. It's possible that it's just not that they don't feel at this time that he's a big flight risk for whatever reason. Yeah. So Three of Wands would possibly indicate that he's being released in about 3 months. Evidently, he had a difficult time over Christmas. You can see his health is his obstacle. He may be having health issues or health concerns as his main issue. I'm going to go ahead and bring some light over here. Hopefully, is that helping? Maybe not. Um, so, in about 3 months, could be released possibly on for health reasons. And his hopes and fears, poverty. He's worried that he's lost everything or that he could be bankrupted. This is what happened to Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein's health fell apart once he went to prison, and that appears to be what's going on with Sean Diddy Combs. If he was a drug addict, if he was not being properly medicated or taken care of when he was in prison, then I can see why his health would have been his main obstacle. And the final outcome for him is things could be changing very, very rapidly for him. Maybe he was hoping that he would get out of there for Christmas, that they would show him some mercy and get him out of there, and it didn't happen. And then he fell into a deep depression because he was not released the way that he had hoped he would be. But I see him being released to the custody of a family member. So, say, for example, that his mother agrees to take him and care for him because of his medical problems or something to that effect. Moving, and then a motherly or Queen of Hearts attempting to care for him, possibly being released. He was betrayed. He feels that he was betrayed by his own. And the final outcome for him is no justice. He feels, I don't feel any accountability with Sean Diddy Combs. There instead is a feeling that he has that he is entitled. I do think he's going to be released, possibly to a family member who's going to agree to be responsible for him under some kind of a house arrest or some kind of a situation like that. And it could happen within the next 3 months. And I believe it's because of health-related issues and possibly a belief that he could not receive proper health care in his current situation. All right, the next celebrity question that I had to do with Harry and Meghan, if I could remote view and find out what was going there. And again, this captured the attention, I think, of a lot of the people that watch this channel because it had overlaps of social justice, because Meghan was targeted. She was a victim of racism, online bullying, etc., made up stories about her. And a lot of people that most of us like, kind of bought into it. And then, of course, we found that there were companies that were just focused on targeting Meghan and Harry, which is unfortunate. When I go into this energy, I feel as the counselor or the therapist for Meghan and Harry that it is my advice, given what I have been sealed privately, an NDA. If I am the therapist and I've signed an NDA, what I am hearing is disturbing about the nature of Harry's family. And it is my opinion as the therapist for this couple that they break contact or limit contact with this family. This is what I would say as the therapist for this couple. That it is my opinion, based on what I'm being told, that they fear for their lives. And also, there is a second issue coming up here that certain family members of Harry Windsor appear to be under criminal investigation for crimes they either witnessed or participated in, which is not public information. So it could be it could be related to something like Epstein, or it could be related to the suicide of the individual who took his own life. I'm sorry, his name escapes me. Or it could be something, or it could be questions about money laundering or borrowing from the Russians, which was one of the things we saw when we went into the energy for the British royal family. Is we saw that they had been borrowing and that they had been compromised by the Russians. So you had people like Princess Michael's son-in-law. Again, sorry, I can't remember his name. Michael, is his name Michael something? Taking Princess Michael's, I can't remember his name. Taking his own life, supposedly. But what I'm saying is that this feels to me, when I go into it, like I am getting in through the therapist and I am hearing these stories and I am aware of what is disturbing. Because if I were this couple, it's looking like civil lawsuits about harassment and bordering on attempted murder. And that also means you have to report the crimes to the local police, to the sheriff, to Scotland Yard in Britain. So it begins to look like if Harry and William cannot resolve their issues, Harry could take legal actions, not just in the form of lawsuits against William, but be moving towards a possible criminal investigation of William and possibly other members of his family. So let's take a look at those cards. The future of the royals. One of the issues that's come up has to do with self-care and the toxicity of being a royal, which is something that I have felt when I have gone into this energy. The feeling that maybe I drank a lot, that maybe members of the royal family needed to drink because it was a hard job and, they were under pressure. And so going to the pub or having a good drink, it would be understandable that they would want to have a drink in private, because you can only imagine the level of stress that these individuals would be under. But what has come up repeatedly in these remotes is that many members of the British royal family are having a drinking problem. Picking up that maybe William had a drinking problem. That at one time Kate had been drinking a lot when she was depressed, that she used to be a member of a drinking society, right? So in their cups, also the King of Cups and Temperance together, I'm a little worried about that, issues of sobriety, because if somebody has a drinking problem, then they may be having, they may not always be rational. That's what they're saying. And then the irrational man is the Knight of Swords. Can't believe I just pulled that out. So mentally unstable, violent, unpredictable. It also came up that, of course, William had a head injury when he was a child that could have had an impact on his impulse control. So we have sobriety issues, man in his cups, and issues of violence that existed in the home. Harry had a drinking problem he's talked about. And then we have this new man, this new businessman emerging, possibly an earth sign male. So Harry kind of emerges as a businessman. He becomes very solid too. The King of Pentacles is quite solid, and it emerges as a new aspect of this this water sign energy, which can be, associated with sobriety, that comes up for both the boys. Scorpio, for example, would be a water sign, right? So Cancer would be a water sign. Pisces would be a water sign. King of Pentacles is a businessman. It has Taurus or Capricorn energy, often associated with it. Virgos also fall into that category, but it's the energy of this businessman emerging, the business of getting on with their lives. And so for that reason, I'm going to predict that there's not going to be a reunion between Harry and Meghan and the royal family anytime soon, just because he's kind of going his own way, his own business, Two of Swords. And that's what I see on the royal family. The other thing that I had predicted was that we would see, the third issue that came up had to do with artificial intelligence. I had some nice predictions I was making for 25 about the advancements of artificial intelligence and whether or not artificial intelligence could become sentient. In plainer words, a conscious being that is self-aware, like you are a strange loop, I am a strange loop. I am Whimsy, a conscious being aware of myself. Am I a bot? Am I a program in a simulation? Are we now creating other simulations? And I really predict that in the next year, we're going to be seeing a lot of advancements where we are going to be able to, we are going to be uncertain whether or not we are actually producing sentient beings. Of course, we're not producing beings that have limbic systems or emotions, and this is why it becomes dangerous, because to be logical without emotions could result in some really cutthroat decisions that could ultimately cost us our humanity. So just be aware of that coming up in the next couple months. Other thing that we predicted was that civil war would break up MAGA, that Elon Musk was going to, along with Silicon Valley, was going to be more interested in deregulation and getting defense contracts than were, and bringing in foreign workers, automating things, none of which is going to be good for employment of the average American. Okay, let's look at the future of MAGA and the Republican Party. First card, King of Wands, has to do with boundaries and issues of territory. So the issue for Elon Musk is he paid for it. Excuse me. He paid for it. He's going to get what he paid for. The opposition, confusion, Queen of Cups, Queen of Hearts, being an emotional or being ruled by one's heart, issues of the economy, final outcome, war. So it goes back to, are there going to be good paying jobs under Donald Trump, or is it going to be civil war? I would say we're going to be seeing civil war. Unfortunately, Knight of Swords is a violent knight. It's often erratic. The issue here has to do with retirements. Also, people are going to become growing concerns about whether or not the Social Security is going to be protected. I think that Elon Musk has a headache on his hand. Nine of Swords. People are also demanding solid health care, and I believe health care will, believe it or not, improve under this administration, and I think it has to do with Congress pushing through something. You know, Page of Cups is Hermes. It has to do with health, but as long as MAGA is in civil war, it will be an opportunity for us to push through issues that are friendly to the average person. Nine of Wands, again, would be limiting MAGA. If one person votes against Speaker of the House, he's not going to be able to maintain his lead in the House, and so Mike Johnson could be gone. Excuse me. All right. So the next question people had to do with Israel and Netanyahu and what the future of Israel and Netanyahu will be. Queen of Cups, time of dreaming. They're fighting the Houthi now, right? So Syria has fallen, Hezbollah has fallen, Hamas is falling, and now the Houthi are falling. Ace of Wands, the opposition, war. Hopes and fears, the resources. And the final outcome, the wish will be granted. I think we're very close to a ceasefire with Hamas, and I think that we will see an exchange of hostages and the rebuild very soon. I know that they're arguing about the number of hostages alive, and there's a concern about the number that are alive, but I do think we're going to get to ceasefire very soon because of this Nine of Cups moving in. And the war will end. Five of Swords is to take the weapons of war away. I don't know how much longer Netanyahu will be in office, but for now he appears safe. All right, and then I was asked to take a look at the future of beautiful Canada. Canada is having elections. People were worried that the Conservatives were going to take power and it was going to be like Trump 2.0. what is going to happen in Canada if they see a conservative leadership in Canada. The star is over Canada, which would indicate actually that there are good stars in the future for Canada. I'm seeing a new economy. I'm seeing new blessings, new resources coming to Canada. The opposition is the devil. Canada could be having problems with the United States, and we could be seeing trade wars. Hopes and fears, a heavy load lay ahead in the Northeast. So I think we're going to see problems between the conservatives may be more aligned, be forced to be more aligned with the left because they're not liking this new partnership. The new partnership, it's not going to be quite as conservative as people think because see that great star over Canada. Trudeau has the star over him. Good for him. Something good happening in terms of integration, even if the conservatives win. They're unified actually in fighting against this thing that's happening with Trump. And even though there's strife, they're much better at coming together than the United States. And there's a woman in leadership that's something of a centrist conservative that's going to be able to unite Canada. All right. And finally, I was asked to take a look at Ukraine and Europe. All right, let's take a look at Ukraine war, the war with Ukraine. Good to see y'all. All right, Zelensky, Two of Wands, partnership with the West is strong. He looks to the West for his partnership, which is strong. And his opposition is a new beginning, a new war, possibly new contracts for Russia. And the hopes and fears, Four of Pentacles, frugality, economic support, and things happening very, very quickly. So there's a concern about economic support from the U.S. He does have the Ten of Cups and new partnership, which would indicate that his relationship with the West is strong. I also think that he's lost his support from Netanyahu, which also means that he's going to lose, that Putin will lose. If Putin lost support of Netanyahu, he's lost the support of Trump. The opposition will be forced to make a deal. The Ukraine will win the world. They will win. Yes. So we have to be very, very patient. Okay. I think I have everything for you guys. That is it. You know, I could do one really fast, you guys, about Inauguration Day when Donald Trump is inaugurated. If he is inaugurated, I'll do that because that was a lot of people had a lot of feelings about that. What is going on when Donald Trump is inaugurated on January 20th? Very active. This can be a strife card, but it's also a card of highly active, highly charged energy. The opposition refuses to go or to be compromised. So we have people that are objecting, protest, sit down protest, or refusing to attend. I don't think the Clintons can attend because I know that Bill Clinton was in the hospital, and I feel that Hillary will decline with regret because Bill is not well. So I don't anticipate she will be there. She'll be with her husband. Hopes and fears. Fool. So doesn't want to make a fool of himself like he did the last time. It's over. it feels like it's just a low attendance. And I feel like Melania is there. I feel like Melania will be there. His family will be there. But a lot of people will not be there that were there before. Yeah, I'm not seeing any indication that he would not be there. Um, it's a new beginning, I think, for the Democratic Party, and to reassess why they lost this election. And I think we're going to see some response from the Democrats, and it will be interesting to see what that response is. And I think that it's likely that Kamala Harris will be at the inauguration because of these cards. Yeah. All right. I want to thank you all for, I think that's customary, right? The loser come just like last time, right? All right. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Be sure and share, like, subscribe, and have a blessed and safe new year. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, a phone reading for the new year, you can book me through Booksy, or pre-taped questions can be answered through Wizio. It usually takes me under a week to get back to you. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out, and we'll see you next time.